Good morning, everyone. This is going to be my garden tour. Right here, I have my morning glories, and yes, I screwed up and let them take over this this section of fence this year. So we're going to go into our little garden here, and I'm going to show you my crazy weedy garden. Okay, I'm a little embarrassed, but it is what it is. Okay, now right here I have some cucumbers and melons coming up, and they're going to climb this fence. Now, in this area right here, I do have some cherry tomatoes and I do have some peppers. Look here. I don't know if you can see my pepper. Can you see my pepper? Look at that. Okay. Now that is mostly morning glories growing up through there, but there are some cherry tomatoes in there that I need to get out, and I can see some back there in the corner. They're hard to see. And then I've got some more cherry tomatoes here. We got vines. We've got some voluntaries, and we're going to plant more in this section. Okay, as you can see, this little garden bed is a skid, and it has 4 divisions. And so we're going to plant some more tomatoes in there, clean out the weeds, and get that popping again. Okay, so right here, let's see if this is a little better. You can see this a little better. We have some beans, and we have some peas down there at the end, and they're going to climb up this fencing. See the fencing right here? This is all fencing all the way up, and it does like a little climb, and we're going to climb those beans and peas up through there. Now in this pot right here, I have some tomatoes started. This one was a voluntary that came up from last year's, and so I'm just letting it go in that pot. Okay, Cleo, honey, Cleo. Yeah, you need to move. Go on, move. Okay, in this bucket are my tomato and pepper starts that we are going to transplant in the other area. Now in this pot, there are more beans, and they're going to grow right up that post, the little pole, and they're going to go right up onto that fence. Okay, this is another section of our garden, and I'm going to step back a little bit so that way we can try to show you. There are 2 large skids areas. They're raised a little bit, and they have vinyl siding to hold in the dirt that we put in last year. And we have some peppers. We have some of our wax peppers, and we have our tomatoes. They're growing in the back. Now, those tomatoes I was going to pull out, but they're starting to produce again, so I'm not sure what to do. Now, in the middle here, you see that big topiary thing in the middle? That is a voluntary bean plant. So it is growing up that little pole I have in the middle, and it's going onto the fence in the back. It's growing up that fence. And as you can see, there are lots of beans, lots of things going on, and it's grabbing onto this side of the fence where it will grow up and around. That's going to be so awesome looking. Okay, so we're going to look over into this pinned area. I have radishes, and there's carrots growing back in there. There's also more tomato plants. There are some corn plants back in there, and we're going to have to do some weeding in order to make sure that we can get, let's see, where are they? There they are. Those tomatoes planted. Get some of those tomatoes in there and transplant some of our melons. Look at that big melon right here. Look at this. This one right here. He's a big dude. Now, that might be a cantaloupe. Don't know. It looks like I have some more melons. These are watermelon coming out right here. And what we'll do is, once I clear out all of these little beds of all the nasty little weeds, because I did plant seeds in those, so I'm kind of waiting to see what's going to come out, and then we will carry on. But we have lots of tomatoes back in here. Got lots of tomatoes growing. There's some back in the back. And there's some over here. So, you know, we're trying to make sure that we don't get rid of any of the seed that we planted amongst there. Because this really did look like it was dying for a long time. And I love these wax peppers. One day they might be like, I don't know, a ½ inch long. But look, they're just blooming like crazy. There's starts all over them. And these guys are super, super hot. These are very hot peppers. And we have 4 of them producing. So, very quickly, I'm going to show you a system that I'm getting ready to do. You see these shower curtains? As the weather gets a little colder, these are really, really good, thick plastic. Right now I have them clipped. I had this stretched out over my seedlings, so that way they were getting the sun, they were getting some moisture, but they weren't getting beat when we had all of that rain. My intention is to enclose all of this fenced in area with these shower curtains to make a hothouse. And if it works throughout the colder season and it lets these plants survive, there's Thor playing in the dirt and the mud. If it works, then next spring I will bring them back out again and I can start my plants right in where I'm going to plant. They can just seed from right there. Now, I'm trying to see if I can get down there at the very end, all of that growing down there, I'm going to say right here, are radishes right here. There are carrots growing in there, and I do need to get in there and kind of weed that. But other than that, these are all tomatoes. And then back in here, some of that needs to be weeded out, but there are all kinds of things planted in there as well. So that was just a quick tour of my horrible garden, but this is the before I get to the weeding part. But just remember, you can grow a bean that comes up on its own. Y'all have a good day. Bye.